Then Saul said to his armor-bearer, "Draw your sword and run me through with it, that these uncircumcised men may not come and certainly run me through and deal abusively with me." And his armor-bearer was unwilling, because he was very much afraid. So Saul took his sword and fell upon it. With that, when his armor-bearer saw that Saul had died, then he too fell upon his own sword and died with him. Repeat, verse 5. When his armor-bearer saw that Saul had died, then he too fell upon his own sword and died with him. And it came about on the third day that, look, a young man was coming from the camp, from Saul, with his garments ripped apart and dirt upon his head. And it came about that when he came to David, he at once fell down to the earth and prostrated himself. So I stood over him and definitely put him to death, for I knew that he could not live after he had fallen. Then I took the diadem that was upon his head and the bracelet that was upon his arm, that I might bring them to my Lord here. With that, David called one of the young men and said, "Go near, smite him." Accordingly, he struck him down so that he died. David then said to him, "The blood guilt for you be upon your own head, because your own mouth has testified against you, saying, I myself definitely put the anointed of Jehovah to death." That is 1 Samuel chapter 31, verses 4 and 5, 2 Samuel chapter 1, verse 2, verse 10, verse 15, verse 16. What exactly happened here? What do you think that young man was expecting from David, bringing the crown of Saul and the bracelet that Saul was wearing to David? What would you have expected? What would you have expected? What happened to that young man and why? What was he seeking? And was he doing so under pretense? Pay careful attention to verse 5 in 1 Samuel chapter 31. Did he actually get the respect that he thought he would earn, and the trust and the confidence that he thought David would entrust in him? Something to think about. Seeking glory under a pretense. What happened to him?